Hello, I'm Duane Cardall, and welcome to what some people might call my ego trip. Essentially, it's my story about my transition from a typical over 30 overweight sedentary American male to an athlete.
Happy birthday, big brother. Can't believe you're 80. It only means that I'm getting close. I'm right behind you. I do remember living on Q Street and being outside playing with all the neighborhood kids, playing kick the can or hide and seek or maybe duck, duck, goose in the backyard.
Well, I can't believe you are 80 years old. A couple of thoughts I have about our childhood, the experience of the cabin, the Cardall cabin, being up there as a family, even with Dad in the first few years, the early years.
One of my memories of Duane centers around Christmas time. We would go get the largest Christmas tree, put it in the corner of the room, decorate it with the lights and with the ornaments, and we would always have to hang the tinsel just right. On Christmas morning, we would line up in the hall, and since Duane was the oldest, we would have to follow him out while Dad got the movie camera and was recording us. I remember one Christmas where he said he hid behind the couch and that he actually saw Santa, and that really made me excited.
The first memory, I guess, is really maybe my baptism. You were able to baptize me, and that was really special in the font behind the tabernacle. And that's something that is kind of a special bond between us.
We had such a wonderful mother, and she was such a good example to all of us. And we are all where we are today because of her.
Also, I remember playing football up at the cemetery with our neighbors and friends, and that was a lot of fun.
Our Sunday dinners are another time where we were all together and we enjoyed time. Mom always made the best roasts with the hard potatoes. The fat was crispy and string was tasty. We would fight over it. Duane always sat at the end of the table, and if he didn't like something that he was eating, he would drop food down the grate. He won't admit it, but it's true.
And the experience I had of learning how to ski with Ron Simmons when he would take you skiing a lot. I remember one time Mom asked him if he would let me tag along, and he did, and he helped teach me how to ski, and being up there with you and him meant a lot to me.
Most of my memories are of you leaving and going off and doing great things. You went to scout camps, you went to California to be with cousins. You were a cheerleader. By the time I was 8, I don't know when you were a cheerleader, but I do remember your megaphone. I don't remember seeing you cheer.
So I remember going up to Lindsay Gardens to watch you play your baseball games, and I probably went because the boys were there. I mean, why not? When we were very young, we were very close. I know that we danced together, had dancing lessons, and did lots of things together, and then got to the time where parents got divorced and going through teenage years. It was a little bit rough some of those years.
I appreciate the way you took your role as the oldest sibling when our father left us. You stepped into that and probably had to grow up and mature faster than you would have wanted. But I appreciate your example and your role.
It's wonderful having siblings with integrity.
And I remember bits and pieces of talking either to Mom and or you about having the priesthood in our house, in our home. And even though it was the Aaronic priesthood that you held at that time, you took that very seriously, and it meant a lot to have that in the house.
When I was 11, you went on your mission for 3 years to the Netherlands, and you were gone. And then as soon as you get home, you decide to propose to the love of your life, and you're off and married.
Duane came home from the Army and was friends with Marlon Perry, he looked in Marlon Perry's Olympus High yearbook.
We went through page. I said, you know, her, about her. Oh, yeah, I know her.
And found me and said, now, do you know her? And Marlon said, yes, she's a friend of the girl I'm taking.
And we had been to Fort Ord, California. And while we were at Fort Ord, California, later I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, but at Fort Ord, California, they made a movie called Soldier in the Rain. And so when we came home, we knew that Soldier in the Rain was being released, and its premiere was on New Year's Eve, and I needed a date for New Year's Eve to go see this movie that we were starring in. Your first overall, opinion?
Oh, my goodness. This boy was so handsome. Dark hair, yellow button-down shirt, and I was immediately in love with this Duane Cardall.
The rest is history. First date kiss.
You are one of my favorite people, and I am so grateful to be your daughter.
I remember hiding in your closet for some reason. I don't know if I was going to try to scare somebody or what, but I remember hiding in your closet, and you came in and shut the door and started to say probably your morning prayer is what I think it was. It's when you were bishop, and I just remember, for one thing, being a little scared that I was in the closet and you were going to find me. Thinking that, I would get in trouble for being in there while you were saying your prayer. But then also just, I remember how heartfelt your prayer was. I don't remember what it was about. I don't remember what you said, but just the love that exuded from your mouth as you were praying, and probably for, our family, for ward members and stuff like that. But that's a memory that has stuck out with me.
And it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. And Joseph also went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into Judea, unto the city of David, with Barbie.
My memories have gone back to when we were children, and you would travel all around the world, and you travel with a prophet. And I remember even as a young child that I would kneel down and pray that you would be safe and you'd be protected and that you would come home to us. And this helped to build my testimony of prayer.
Thank you so much for this cabin. It is just one of many places that you have brought all of us and invested time to create memories that carry with us wherever we are.
Back when we were building the house there, I was invited to go help install the central vac system with Dad, because Dad knew I'd go work hard and that I'd help.
But it all used to sit and wonder why if you don't know right now.
One of my favorite memories of you was at my bridal shower. It was at the Cardall bridal shower, and you were helping me gather the gifts and put them in the car. And as we were putting them away, you looked at me and said, "Hey, thank you for joining our family. You're such a breath of fresh air." And that just was amazing to hear.
Happy 80th birthday, Dad. Crazy to believe we are here. You still act like you're 50 or younger. A memory I was thinking about was, I can't remember how old I was, but I would go to KSL and clean their fridge. And I remember going to work with you and cleaning out the fridge and then going and sitting at your desk and just seeing all the work you do. And that was really fun for me to get to see your place of work and watch you as you work hard for our family. So I remember that, and that was a time that you and I had together.
I remember we went down I tagged along on a trip with you. I was probably 7 or 8. I don't even know. I was young, and went down to southern Utah. I don't even know where we went. I think there was an accident or something that you did video at night. We stayed in a hotel, and I basically slept sideways on the bed and probably gave you a foot over on the edge of the bed. And we clearly mentioned it, talked about it. I think we've talked about it over the years, and I've had my kids do the same thing.
I went to my scrapbook and I found this article that I had written as a 16-year-old. I was learning to drive, so I just want to read a little bit of this. I started out, the alarm sounds early at our house. Dad likes to go for an early jog, often with my 11-year-old brother. I think that must have been David. Meanwhile, the rest of our family of 10 begins getting ready for school. After breakfast, it's a time to go our separate ways. My dad is one of the neatest, most talented men I know. He can fix almost anything and is always doing things for our family. I especially enjoy those special times we share together. But I remember a time when I was 6 years old and I got to go with you alone to Vernal, and we went to Dinosaur National Monument and where you did a story. And I wrote, I loved seeing my dad work and just being able to spend time together.
If I could describe you in 3 words, the 3 words that stuck out to me were smart. I think you're smart. You're devoted, definitely devoted to mom, our family, devoted to your faith, and handy. You're very handy. I just remember all the things that you would build, make, fix, very handy.
I remember you coming home, and on occasion, you would have a little gift for us. And that was like Christmas morning, to be in your room and have you open your suitcase and pull out a little gift and a little trinket of some kind from somewhere in the world that you had been. I can imagine now as an adult how difficult that was to find something for all of us. I realize how thoughtful that was. I always loved your stories of the prophets, and I'd love to go to your firesides that you would give, and my faith grew as I heard your stories, and my love for the prophet grew.
You're a man who has lived a life of piety with unwavering faithfulness. You're a patriarch, and not a lot of people are able to do that. There's a lot of strength in your ability to preside, to organize, to teach, and I always felt safe, and I think all of us did, with you in charge. The other thing, God gave you this incredible gift to articulate a message, and I imagine millions of people have heard your voice. Tens of thousands have probably heard you share your love for Christ.
Dad's taught me what faith is. Dad's taught me how to take care of the people I've loved, and it's taught me how to work hard. All good things Dad's been good at.
If I were to describe you in 3 words, it would be disciplined, dedicated, and very, very kind.
Something that has influenced or shaped my life. I just think you being the father that you are, always working so hard, the way you loved mom, the sacrifices you made for our family, made me grow up knowing what type of man I deserve in my life. And just, you were a great example to that as to what a man and father should be. And I think that really shaped and influenced my life in making choices in my life.
Probably the biggest thing that I'm grateful for you and your influence is in your faith and trust in God through ups and downs and the various challenges we've had, growing up without a dad active in your life, to being so present in mine, seeing Jalen and Brian pass away, being a rock and a strength as, Paul dealt with so many health issues, even lately with just the various health issues and challenges that families face. We're not a perfect family, and you've been there, steady for all of us, forgiving, patient, loving, a true example of what I think a father is, and what
what I envision our Heavenly Father being as well.
If you could describe your husband in 3 words, what would they be?
3 words. Smart, caring, and a workaholic.
Much is written and said about man's inhumanity to man. It's war that makes headlines, conflict and strife that fill the evening news. We continue now with our special report, Spencer W. Kimball, Journey to the Middle East. We're visiting with our reporter Duane Cardall, who is speaking to us live via satellite from Jerusalem. As President Kimball indicated, there's a good deal of disagreement about the authenticity of many of the sacred shrines in the Holy Land. Some will say it's one place, many others will say it's at another place. He joined pilgrims from many nations to walk past the Garden of Gethsemane. In the garden itself is what appears to have been the tomb.
We accepted this, didn't have a gate on it then. We accepted this as the burial place.
I think you could very well be right. Of course, it is not my job to say which I think is the place. My job is just to remind people the tomb's empty.
I realize that a lot of people have different ideas about all these places, but this seemed like so logical with the Rolling Stone here.
The biggest story I ever covered was the priesthood revelation announcement going live. And it's interesting because at that time, 1978 kind of marked a different, a change in the dynamics of television news. Before 1978, everything was film. 1978 introduced what we called ENG, electronic news gathering, which meant that we could go live. There were receivers on the top of the University Club building, and anywhere in the Salt Lake Valley where you could see the University Club building, you could send a microwave signal and we could go live. And here we were standing out on the plaza of the church office building, telling the world that this revelation had been received.
The LDS Church office building in downtown Salt Lake City, where a major announcement has just been made by a letter which has been released under the signatures of the First Presidency of the LDS Church.
Today, 3 wards or congregations meet in the Hyde Park Chapel. The London Mission is also housed here, and so is a visitor center. Elder Duane and Sister Margaret Cardall are the directors there.
And President McKay came over, I think, with President Hugh B. Brown and dedicated this in 1961. And it's been a flagship facility for the church in England ever since.
Today, 178 years after the first converts in England were baptized, 2,000 Latter-day Saints now meet in Hyde Park Chapel.
How has being married to him shaped your life?
Well, in the last few months, when I fell and broke my kneecap, I knew that I'd always had a kind and caring partner. But I saw goodness, kindness, and love come out of this man. That I hadn't seen before. He's always been wonderful. But I saw such a caring and compassion and worry about me that I hadn't seen before.
3 words to describe you. The first word that I would come up with is faithful. You have always been a stalwart in the gospel. The other word that I was thinking of with you is caring. Sometimes you don't show it as much as others, but you're always a caring person. And I especially love to watch you around your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, and how proud you are of them and how much you love them and how much they look up to you. And the last word that I'm going to use to describe you is that you are a hard worker. So thanks, Duane, for being such a good brother and such a good example for me. I want you to know that I love you and hope you have a wonderful birthday.
We were gone from Salt Lake for 30 years, and have now been back 15 years. We have enjoyed our time here. I've always admired Duane for his faith and his strong testimony of the gospel. He's always there to help and has been very supportive of me. I love you, Duane. Happy 80th birthday.
3 words or phrases to describe you and how I feel about you. One would be that you are a true disciple of Jesus Christ, and you have been faithful and been a great example throughout your life to me and to the rest of us. And you have been extremely supportive of us as siblings and as a family. And I'm grateful for the unity that we have. Happy birthday. And I love you, brother.
One of my greatest memories was when you and Craig and Mom drove up to Everett, Washington, when Paul and I were going to be sealed. And you were able to be Paul's escort. And Mom was my escort. And that was a really special time. 3 words that I might use to describe you. Faithful is the first one that came to mind. You have had so much faith in your life. You've had trials to overcome and obstacles, as we all do. And I just think faith sustained you in your childhood, and then through your trials. Integrity is another word. You're such a great example of how to live a life that you're trying to follow Christ's example. And the last word to describe you was family man. 2 words. I already mentioned that, but family is paramount in your life. And I love you and thank you for always being a great example and for your shining example of love, especially to your family. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Duane. 80th. Woo!
Wait. Renegade. Go. Got one. Go. Oh, yeah. Go.
I ended with a story of a time that you took Paul and I on a Sunday night to go to one of your firesides. And we had probably had enough time sitting in church that day that we got restless. And I don't even remember how old I was, but I remember how embarrassed I felt that you had to stop your talk and you had to tell Paul and I to leave each other alone, and told Paul to sit on one end of the bench and for Carol to sit on the other end of the bench and not touch each other until the talk was over and we were able to go home. You have always been such a great example, a man of God that taught me the gospel that I love today, and I am grateful for your example of the service that you gave as a bishop, taking Christmas ornaments around. I remember walking with you then and knocking on the door of every home and to wish them a Merry Christmas. You've always been such a great home teacher and minister to the people in your neighborhood. You have always been willing to help us when we needed it. I remember we were trying to remodel probably right after Mary was born and hadn't quite gotten to paint one of the bedrooms, and you came over. We were in a pinch and you came over to help. I ended this article by saying, our experiences with our dads are varied. It may be going on a trip together, learning a lesson about life through gentle discipline, or just sitting and talking to each other. Before too many years pass by, I'll leave home to pursue a career and begin a family of my own, and I'll no longer be under my father's protective wing. But while he's there, I'm grateful for the lessons he's teaching me and the choice experiences we are having together. Fast forward 40 years or so, and I feel the same way as I did as a 15 and 16-year-old. I love you. I'm grateful for you and wish you the happiest birthday this week. Love you.
Happy birthday, Dad. Anyways, I love you. Happy 80th. This is exciting. Can't wait to celebrate.
When I think of 3 characteristics that you exhibit, or 3 words that I would describe for you, I thought about Christ-like attributes. And the 3 that came to mind were integrity, virtue, and faith. Dad, you have never done anything to have me question your integrity. And that is a beautiful thing. Integrity is lacking so much, and I'm so grateful that you have always lived this principle and been a great example to me of that. You have also been virtuous and lived a life of virtue, and I appreciate that, and I'm so grateful for that and the security that it gave to me as a child. And the other one is faith. You are a man of faith. You have lived it. You have been an example of it, and you have shared your faith. And I am grateful for your example of just seeing you studying your scriptures and quietly attending the temple and doing things to strengthen your covenants with our Heavenly Father. Your faith has built my faith, and I am so grateful for that and the foundation that you have given me. I love you, Dad. Happy 80th birthday. It's so fun that we get to celebrate you.
One of the key, I guess the greatest moment I've had with you that has forever helped me is after my third open heart surgery. I was exhausted, I was tired, I was finished. They wanted to wheel me back in the third time because of the complication with my pacemaker. And I told you, I'm done. I want to go home. And I meant I wanted to go home to be with our Savior. But you looked at me and you walked by my gurney as they took me into surgery. And before the doors closed, just your strength, just being there with me. Everyone needs a father to walk beside them in the hardest stages of their life. And you've done that for me throughout my life, even now. So I love you. Happy 80th birthday.
And 3 words I would use to describe Dad are integrity, intelligence, and devotion.
Happy 80th birthday, Duane. And you've been such an incredible father-in-law, so supportive and loving and wonderful to me and to the girls. And through all these years, you've kept us included and loved. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, and we can't wait to see you again.
3 words to describe you. I mean, I could describe you in a lot more words, but I think 3 main ones I could say is faithful. You're extremely faithful in everything you do. You are extremely hardworking. Even when you were here at our house this last week, out shoveling helping Mike in the yard, and just always on your feet, going. And then also, you are so loving and so generous. You've always been so generous to everyone you love. And I think those are just really good qualities of you. And I'm so excited that we're celebrating you, and just glad that we get to do this for you. Love you.
A couple of words that describe you: dedicated, strong, and faithful. And this can be said in many different ways, but I think all of those definitions associated with dedicated, strong, and faithful are who you are. I love you, Dad.
How has Dad's faith impacted you?
I know from the time I was just little that the Spirit spoke to me, and I've had enough experiences personally with gifts from the Lord that have really blessed my life. But the fact that I have a companion that loves the Lord and knows that both of us together are stronger as we support and help each other in our beliefs. We've had challenges. We've had disappointments from people, just like anybody else does. But I choose to stick, as far as I know, deep in my heart. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I want to be cheering on his side. I hear many mornings, I am so old. Yes, you are. You're old, and I'm right behind you. But I think if I get you a new driver, you're going to be a happy golfer. And And that will be worth its weight in gold. So happy birthday, sweetheart.
What are you most grateful for as you turn 80?
Number one, my companion. No question about it. The fact that we found each other, and the fact that we were sealed in the temple by the authority of heaven to be together forever if we live worthy. Unequivocally, that's what I'm most grateful for. But then I'm grateful for blessings that just overflow constantly, and for the children that we have and the grandchildren that we have. And yes, some of you have chosen to follow different paths in terms of spiritual development things, but you're all such great people, regardless of what you're doing in terms of church and theology. Every one of our kids is accomplished and good and wonderful, and it just is such a blessing to see that. And we're overwhelmed by what you're accomplishing. I mean, Mom and I sit and talk, or we drive and talk, and, you know, we go through the list, and yeah, there's some concerns that we have, and we, you know, kind of dissect what those things are, but we just are overwhelmed by the goodness of our family, and that's what it's all about. Mortality is all about family. The atonement is all about family. We're children of Heavenly Father, and He wants us to be with Him, and we want to be with Him with all of you. That's what it's all about. We love our, and I mean, there's so many things to be grateful for. Mom always, I'm grateful for temporal blessings. Mom likes to tell the story that somehow I didn't make a lot of money as a television reporter. People thought, yeah, they're big time. But no, we didn't. We were strapped and trying to put food on the table for all of you and have cars to drive and all the different things. We were blessed in remarkable ways. Number one, we paid tithing from the get-go. We've never, ever not paid our tithing. And we've always had sufficient for our needs. And Grandma likes to tell the story, Mom likes to tell the story of how she could get one chicken and cook it for Sunday dinner and feed 10 mouths. Somehow there was enough for everybody to have.
How does it feel to be 80?
Every day is an adventure, a new ache, a new pain. I'm doing my best to try to stay active. I get up every morning and work out for an hour. I walk 2 to 3 miles. I lift weights. I stretch. And I read scripture, study the gospel. I look around this house, and I mean, we've been here for almost 40 years. And I don't feel like I should. There are days I feel 80, and there are days when I just can't believe that I'm 80.
Happy birthday, Grandpa!
Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. Happy birthday, Grandpa Duane! Happy birthday!
Hej Grandpa, happy birthday! Or as they say in Norway, gratulerer med dagen.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. I love you so much and I can't wait to celebrate with you. Happy birthday, Grandpa. We love you.
Happy birthday, Duane.
I love you.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. We love you. Love you.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. We love you.
Happy birthday.
Say Happy birthday! Good job.
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
We love you. I love you, Grandpa.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. We love you.
Happy birthday. I love you. Let's go play some golf.
Hey, Grandpa. Hope you're having the best day. Happy birthday. I love you so much.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. So glad to have you in my life. Love you.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. Love you.
Happy 80th birthday, Grandpa. I hope you can make it a great one. Really, really happy that I'm able to call you my grandpa and that you are so willing to have us at your house and just want to be involved in our lives. So, happy birthday.
Birthday, Grandpa. I love you. You're the best.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. Love you. See you soon.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. I miss you so much. I'm really happy you came to the funeral. I think it was really nice, and I was really happy seeing you guys there. And I hope you have an amazing day. The best birthday you've ever had.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. We love you.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. Love you.
Happy 80th birthday, Grandpa. I love you.
Happy birthday, Grandpa. It's your 80th birthday. Love you. Happy 80th birthday, Grandpa. I love you. Happy birthday, Grandpa.